Just put the pinky down at this point. Hey guys, this has been a roller coaster of a past few days. If I'm honest, this wasn't supposed to be today's video. Originally, I started scripting an album review because I have quite a lot to get through. But then, I kept seeing videos on my For You page that were using the song clip and I was a bit shocked. Quite frankly, I forgot this was releasing so soon, so I wasn't really planning on making a video this quick. But wow, I can't keep this to myself. So far, I've seen that most people share my opinion, so on one hand, I do feel a little guilty, because I don't want to dogpile on them. However, A, I've been asked about my opinion regarding the song. B, I also feel that I should talk about it given my coverage of the group over the last few months. And finally, I also want to put my money where my mouth is. If I don't like something, I'm going to tell you about it and explain why I don't like it. Not just state my opinion and move on, because that's not how I roll. With that being said, this video won't be the most positive either. I don't want my critiques to be confused with blind hate towards the members because that's the last thing I want. But I also don't feel that hiding my opinion would be the best course of action either. Because of that, I want to preemptively apologize for the string of seemingly negative videos I've posted. I don't want it to become a pattern, but I also felt passionate enough about this topic to get this video up sooner. With that out of the way, let's continue on with the rest of the video. First and foremost, I want to talk about the lead up to the single. When the teasers and everything were being dropped, people thought Manon's absence was now a marketing ploy. They were keeping her out of the teasers so that she could have a grand return in the music video. But then the Nylon Mag interview was posted featuring all 6 members. For some context, some footage was leaked from an alleged dance practice video that showed all the girls, including Manon, doing the choreo. I also saw some storyboard pictures of what their scenes were going to look like. Going back to the Nylon interview, all of the girls are styled very similarly to some of the scenes from the Pinky Up music video, implying, or to some degree confirming, what fans were speculating. Now, I don't know if this is a Catch Me If You Can Girls' Generation situation. If you don't know, back in like 2015, Girls' Generation released Catch Me If You Can. There were rumors floating around about this song originally featuring Jessica before her departure. Lo and behold, about a year later, the OT9 version was leaked. Not just the song, but the whole edited music video started popping up left and right. There's still one up to this day that I listen to all the time. Where am I going with this? In that case, SM reshot the entire thing to remove Jessica. Now, I don't know if Hybe x Gavin had already filmed the music video at the time of the interview, but I'd say it was likely they did. Because why would you be in the same looks from the video and have this released during the single's rollout? I'm not a stranger to how these things work. I know this interview is pre-recorded, obviously. But it does make you wonder, how sudden was this hiatus? Cause if you knew you weren't going to participate in the comeback, why would she go to the interview in the MV styling? Like, that doesn't really make sense to me. I could sit here and try to dissect their body language, their answers, or this, that, and the third, but ultimately that won't really do anything. Fact of the matter is, they released the song without Manon for better or worse. So let's talk about the song. If I said that some of their previous work was a Venga Boys reject, imagine my shock, or should I say horror, when I heard this one. The whole end of this song feels like it was straight copied from them and not in a cute homage type of way. I also want to say this. I take back my comment about them not having an artistic direction, because as time has gone on, and some people even pointed out in my comments, they do. Turns out, it's just bad. Speaking a bit more in general, what's frustrating about the song is that it's trying to blend some of the good parts of their previous non-brain rot songs, but still giving us slop in between the verses. And to me, that's the worst possible combination. I like the main sentiment of the first verse. It feels very current, especially with the state of the world. Talking about wanting to live large before it all ends. It's relatable. But following that up with a chorus comprised of Pinky Up is diabolical. I can't even begin to comprehend what went through their heads over at Hybe. Actually, yes I can, and I feel like that's becoming a broader topic of conversation. Y'all, I feel like we're a part of a social experiment at this point. Because the way they're being secretive about Manon's status within the group and all of the leaks, it just feels like they're capitalizing on the fact that people are interested. And they're right, we are. But it gets to a point where we need to ask ourselves, how much of this can we actually take? Gnarly was, quote, so bad it's good. Internet Girl had people divided, but Pinky Up is just a slap in the face in many ways. Replacing Manon's scenes, the lyrics, the choreo, just how nonsensical it all is. If this song does well, it's just letting Hybe Geffen know that they can literally put out the most outlandish, crazy music and the fans will still eat it up. And I want to circle back to fan reaction because honestly, I'm glad I've seen so many people be vocal about their dissatisfaction with the song, the way the group is being handled, and the mismanagement of Manon herself. Like I mentioned in my underutilization of Blackpink video, we need to vote with our dollars. If we stream and support something we don't agree with, it doesn't matter. The company will keep doing it because it makes money. So if you dislike this single, don't listen to it. I know people were already boycotting because of Manon, but the fact that people are so outraged about the song isn't something the company should take lightly. I mean, the music video stops for 30 seconds halfway through for a freaking True Fruit ad. Like, what? At this point, it feels like the girls have just been turned into a cash cow, pumping out brand endorsements left and right, and utilizing shock marketing to get the most amount of exposure possible. They're burning bright, but burning fast. The amount of posts I've seen talking about how this is the end for Katseye is genuinely astonishing. This group is so young in terms of career length, and to have the general public already saying you peaked is very worrying. Like, they're not a one-hit wonder, but now we're wondering where the music went. Their debut, although cheesy, to me showed a clear foundation for what they could be. These girls are insanely talented. They've got vocals, dance, the visuals, you name it. But now, it feels like they're being used as a punchline by the company. And to a certain extent, this is also the fans' fault. We let them go down this path starting with Gnarly. Yes, they put out the song, but we listened to it. I mean, it was everywhere. And circling back to one of my previous points, it doesn't matter if the consensus is that it's bad, it still did great numbers. What does that do? It incentivizes the company to keep pumping out this type of music. Because at the end of the day, the label will always look out for their bottom dollar at the expense of these girls. So even with us shouting from the rooftops how bad this is, if we still listen, that's as good as endorsing it. A hate stream is still a stream after all. But where do we go from here? Honestly, I'm not sure. I was pretty sure Manon would pop up for Coachella as a surprise, especially with how excited she seemed. Do y'all actually want me to talk about their Coachella performance? Cause like I can. I don't know if that would actually be beating a dead horse at this point. It's up to y'all. If you want it, I'll do it. But this just leaves more questions than answers. Are they gonna release another mini album but without her? Is this a ploy to drum up interest at her expense? Will she actually be leaving the group? Is this the end for Katseye? Only time will tell. But let's say they do put out a project without her. Personally, I don't know how well that would go over. There's a lot of buzz surrounding this situation and the group as a whole, but not for the best reasons. If they did put something out, the already divided audience would be even more divided. Because if she is coming back, why not wait and put it out with her? But if she won't be returning, why are they delaying the inevitable? My guess is that if she won't return, they're trying to get 2 guaranteed successes. If they put something out while she's in hiatus, people will be curious and check it out. Is it similar to their old work? Did they continue their slop music? Etc, etc. And then, if they announce her official departure, the public would also tune in to see what their first official release post Manon is. And this last point is partially what's happening right now. The media coverage surrounding this song isn't just about how bad it is, it's also about the fact that Manon isn't here. And like it or not, even if she leaves the group, Manon won't ever truly leave, if you know what I mean. Bringing back up my previous example, Jessica has spent more time out of the group than she did in it, and to me, she will always be Girls' Generation. Obviously, her case was different. It was after 7 years and being one of the main pillars of the group, but you get my point. Even if she left, the conversation surrounding Katseye will always involve her for better or worse. And I think Hybe knows that. Unless you can somehow do a 180 or get such a massive amount of new fans that don't know and don't care about the past, sort of like La Seraphine with Garam, then she will always be mentioned. Wrapping things up a bit, I am honestly baffled by this song. By the lyrical content, the music video, the drama, but also by its overall audacity. This song to me is simply not good. It has a good moment in the girl singing, but simply put, that is nowhere near enough to sell this song. It's barely 2 minutes and it's also barely cohesive. Genuinely, and I say this with my whole chest, this to me is worse than what Blackpink did in terms of cash grabs. It feels like a blatant insult to our intelligence. Some people might say, oh, that's the genre, or you just don't get it. But objectively, what is there to get? There's no clever wordplay, no deeper meaning, nothing of real substance. And I'm not saying all hyperpop or songs in general need to have these deep, meaningful messages, but this just seems like capitalizing on people's outrage. And I said it once, I'll say it again, it frustrates me that this is at the expense of these girls. The amount of hate I've seen Lara, Sophia, but specifically Daniela receive is crazy. Did Daniela's dad stick his head in their business? Yes, but he is a grown-ass man and Daniela shouldn't be held responsible for his actions. I could go on and on about this forever, but honestly, I don't know what the future holds for them. If Manon does come back, I'll be happy. And if she doesn't come back, I'll be happy for everyone. But I really truly hope that Hybe can learn from this and move on to a different sound for the girls. The fact that their most streamed song is Gabriella, to me says a lot about what fans want. We don't want to talk about Teslas, zucchinis, or pinkies. We want to talk about love, empowerment, maybe some women's wrongs. I don't know. Anything but this. The girls are far too talented and went through too much for it all to be thrown away like this. But that's where I'll leave it for now. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click that bell icon so you're notified every time I post a video. Tell me in the comments down below, what are your thoughts about the song, but also your thoughts about the situation as a whole. Also, unrelated, but sort of related, I'm thinking about making a video talking about Girl Set's Tweak, given how also passionate I feel about it. I would be able to utilize this video's format of it being a little bit shorter, a little bit more chill, less structured, sort of like what I mentioned in my previous video. If that's something that you would be interested in, please let me know, and also let me know how you felt about this format. It's a work in progress. Remember that I love you all so much, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!